What if I told you that the AI tools you're using right now, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, will look as primitive in 18 months as a pocket calculator looks next to a smartphone? Not because they'll get slightly better, but because the entire architecture of artificial intelligence is being rebuilt from the ground up, and almost nobody outside the research labs is paying attention. Right now, in 2026, we are standing at the exact inflection point where AI stops being software you talk to and starts becoming an autonomous digital workforce that operates in the physical world, on your devices and inside your life, without asking permission. This isn't an upgrade. This is a category change. To understand why 2027 is the year everything shifts, you have to understand what's been quietly happening behind closed doors. While the public has been arguing about whether ChatGPT can write a decent essay, three massive structural changes have been accelerating in parallel. The first is autonomy. AI systems are moving from tool to agent, from ask and receive to deploy and forget. The second is embodiment. The intelligence trapped inside server farms is now being installed into physical machines that can touch, move, and build. And the third is decentralization. The power to run frontier AI models is shifting from 3 corporations to millions of individual devices. None of these changes are theoretical. The prototypes are running right now. The deployment schedules are set. And by the end of 2027, they will have fundamentally altered what it means to have a job, run a business, or protect your privacy. Let's start with the one that will hit the economy first. Autonomous AI swarms. The AI you use today is singular. You type a prompt, you get a response. A one-to-one conversation, powerful but fundamentally limited. You are still the bottleneck. You still have to be present. You still have to manage the process. In 2027, that model is dead. What replaces it is swarm architecture, a system where you define a goal and dozens of specialized AI agents self-organize to achieve it. Each agent handles one narrow domain: research, copywriting, code generation, data analysis, creative direction. But they don't operate in isolation. They negotiate with each other. They check each other's outputs. They escalate conflicts to a coordinator agent. The entire system runs without human intervention for hours or days. This isn't science fiction. Microsoft's AutoGen framework, Crew AI, and several defense-grade systems are demonstrating this at scale right now. The technical term is multi-agent orchestration, and the efficiency gains are not incremental. They are exponential. One study showed that a swarm of 3 fine-tuned agents outperformed a single monolithic model by 40% on complex reasoning tasks. Not because the models were better, because the architecture was. This isn't automation, it's delegation at a scale we have never seen. And the economic implication is not that jobs disappear, it's that the definition of skilled work changes overnight. The most valuable employee in 2027 won't be the one who can do the most tasks. It will be the one who can direct the most agents. So what does this mean for your work, your career, and your business? It means that if your competitive advantage right now is execution, you're fast, you're thorough, you know the tools, that advantage is about to be commoditized. The new scarce skill is orchestration, defining objectives clearly, designing agent workflows, auditing outputs. If you're not learning to think in multi-agent systems right now, you're preparing for a job market that won't exist. The second shift is the one that most people find genuinely unsettling, and it's the one that will change the physical world faster than anyone is prepared for. For decades, AI and robotics developed on entirely separate tracks. Robots had bodies, but no intelligence. AI had intelligence, but no physical form. That separation ends in 2027. And the technology bridging the gap is something called large behavior models, LBMs. Unlike traditional robot programming, where every movement has to be scripted by a human engineer, LBMs allow machines to learn physical tasks the way humans do, by watching, imitating and iterating through trial and error in massive digital simulations. An LBM-trained robot arm can watch a human perform a task once, assembling a component, packing a box, sorting inventory, and then replicate it with near-perfect consistency, adapting in real time to variations in weight, position, and material. This isn't chaos, it's a realignment. The first wave of commercial deployment is targeting logistics, warehousing, and light manufacturing. Companies like Figure, 1X, and Tesla's Optimus program are not building prototypes anymore. They're building production lines. The cost curve is dropping so fast that by late 2027, the hourly operating cost of a humanoid robot is projected to fall below minimum wage in several US states. The part of this story that mainstream coverage misses is not that robots will replace every worker. It's that they will replace the workers whose jobs are physically predictable, and they will do it in industries that have been shielded from every previous wave of automation. The factory floor, the warehouse, the retail stockroom. These were supposed to be the tough problems. They're turning out to be the easy ones. The third transformation is the most personal and the most invisible. Right now, every time you use an AI tool, your data leaves your device. It travels through fiber optic cables to a data center. It gets processed on servers owned by a handful of corporations, and it returns a response. You are not just using their intelligence, you are feeding them your patterns, your queries, your location, your habits. In 2027, that architecture starts to invert. Next-generation neuromorphic chips, processors designed to mimic the synaptic structure of the human brain, are making it possible to run powerful AI models locally on your phone, laptop, or wearable, with no internet connection required. This is Edge AI, and it fundamentally changes who owns the intelligence you use. When your AI runs locally, it can build a secure private memory of everything you've written, read, searched, and said, without that data ever leaving your possession. It learns your biometrics. It understands your peak cognitive hours, your stress indicators, your financial rhythms. It becomes a second brain that is genuinely yours. The real danger isn't a sci-fi killer AI. The real immediate danger is a world where the only functional AI is corporate AI, where your digital twin lives on someone else's server, governed by someone else's terms of service. Edge AI offers an alternative path, but it also raises a question we are not ready to answer. If an AI knows you better than you know yourself, and it lives on your device, where do your thoughts end and the algorithm begins? Here is what most predictions about 2027 get wrong. They treat these technologies as separate threads. Autonomous agents over here, embodied robots over there, Edge AI in your pocket. But the defining event of 2027 will not be any single technology. It will be the moment they collide. Imagine an autonomous AI swarm that doesn't just generate reports. It deploys into a fleet of physical robots in a warehouse, coordinating logistics in real time. Imagine Edge AI models running on those robots locally, so the entire operation functions without a cloud connection, immune to latency, immune to surveillance. Imagine that swarm being owned not by Amazon, but by a decentralized network of independent operators who pool their compute power through peer-to-peer infrastructure. This convergence, autonomy plus embodiment plus decentralization, is what makes 2027 different from every year that came before it. It is not a better version of the internet. It is a new layer of reality being laid down on top of the existing one. The game is changing, and the old rules no longer apply. 2027 is not a prediction. It is a destination that is already locked in. The research is published, the chips are fabricated, the prototypes are running. The only variable left is who understands what's coming and positions themselves accordingly. The future of artificial intelligence was never about chatbots. It was never about writing emails faster or generating blog posts. It was always about redistributing the fundamental currencies of power: who can act, who can build, and who can know. If you want to stay ahead of the AI curve, not the hype, not the clickbait, but the structural shifts that actually matter, make sure you subscribe to Decoded AI and hit the bell so you don't miss an episode.